Entrepreneurs are vital to the growth of the UK economy. These companies were once just an idea. Without help, many of these startups would not have got to where they are today. This is where venture capital investors, or VCs, come in. VCs help startups by providing them with money in exchange for a stake in their business. Think about it like the real-world Dragon's Den. In addition to funding, VCs can bring expertise and connections. This can be seen in the US, where VC-backed companies account for about 41% of the total public market. However, there are still some issues with the relationship between VC and entrepreneur. The first is that there are just so many people trying to get investment from VCs that many potentially great ideas won't get their attention. And we don't yet know if just connecting with VCs, even if they don't invest, helps. Is going on Dragon's Den but not securing investments still beneficial? Another is that, at times, biases around education, gender, and race have played a part in entrepreneurs not getting their business ideas seen. So, what's being done about this? While entrepreneurs may not receive any funding, they may still learn from a process through which VCs scrutinize them for potential investment. Out of 100 proposals, around 30 go through a process of so-called due diligence, whilst one will get the funding they are after. Due diligence allows entrepreneurs to improve their business through two paths. The first is learning by doing, learning how to interact with venture capitalists, meeting with potential investors, and gaining valuable new information that can help their business grow. These are all examples of type improvement. The second is type discovery. This is when going through the due diligence process piques the interest of other investors in the firm or increases the commitment by the founder. So, does this process of due diligence add value to the 30 companies who don't get funding? LSE researcher Juanita Gonzalez Uribe led a research team that investigated data from a UK venture capital seed fund, let's call them the fund, to scrutinize the effects of the process. Her research shows that the experience of going through the fund's due diligence adds value to startups, even for those that the fund don't invest in. After going through this process, those that aren't successful still go on to raise more money than they would have had they not gone through the process. In other words, simply going on Dragon's Den adds value. VCs like the fund are trying to ensure that all businesses get a fair shot at getting to due diligence. The fund, in a way, has followed in the footsteps of the New York Philharmonic. In the 70s, the New York Philharmonic faced negative press around its lack of female musicians. Blind auditions were brought in so that any bias was taken out of the equation. The musicians were judged solely on their musical ability. Since then, the orchestra has transformed. The fund randomly allocates 3 reviewers to each business idea. Each reviewer uses a scorecard-based system to scrutinize the business based on the credibility of the idea alone. Then, based on these scores, the businesses go through to the due diligence process, leading to either type discovery, type improvement, or both. The fund is quite unique in how it applies a scientific approach to decision-making in order to reduce the role of bias in scoring. So the process of due diligence itself adds value, and through fairer ways of assessing, a more diverse range of entrepreneurs can be seen. The question is, can more VCs copy this scientific approach to scoring so that every business idea gets an equal chance for success?